Hello and welcome to Hoi4 101. Today we will be taking a delve into construction. So, we'll find the construction screen up here. Here we got our civilian factories. These are what we use for building things. We got, this is how many we are currently using, and this is how many we have in total. We should always try to make sure we are using them all. Then we got consumer goods. Consumer goods is basically a percentage of how many of our total factories which we don't have access to. This can be changed in the political screen down here in the economic law part, where we're currently on partial MOB, and if we were to increase that to war economy or total MOB, the percentage going to consumer goods would be lowered. Trade goods, this is basically just factories that are going to other nations to give us some resource in payment. So if we're lacking any resource, we can spend some civs to buy them. Then here we got our queue. This is one we're currently building. You can assign 15 factories to each thing we are building, and the top one will always be prioritized. So you see, as we can swap them around in care, so we can finish whatever we want to finish first. The different buildings we can build are the state-based buildings, shared buildings, and province buildings. The state buildings all have the same amount of build slots in each state, and each building has its separate build slots. So we can have up to 5 infrastructure in each state, we can have up to 10 air bases, 5 anti-air, and radar is based on tech, up to a total of 6 per state. Infrastructure increases the build speed, resources, and movement speed in that state. While air bases increase in the amount of airplanes you can have, so for each level you get an increase of 200 planes. AA stops the enemy from bombing you by doing damage to any bombers. And radar increases just detection of enemy planes. Then we have shared buildings. These share the same build slots, so you can see we have different amounts of build slots in each state. And all these buildings share the same amount of build slots, so if we were to build a couple of buildings here, then we will not be able to build as many of any other. Here we got military factories, which are used for building equipment for your army. Civilian factories, which of course made used for building more buildings. Then we have dockyards, which are made for building ships. Synthetic refineries, a little bit of an interesting one, as they give you rubber and fuel. The amount they give per refinery can be increased through tech. And they also, not only are they limited by the build slots, but they're also limited to 3 per state. So even though we have 4 build slots available here, we can only make 3 of them per state. Fuel silos increase your fuel capacity. Basically how much fuel you can store. Rocket silos are for deployment of rockets, and nuclear reactors will make nuclear weapons. Then we got the convert button, which means that you can convert civilian to military factories or the other way around. So if you are in dire need of any factories very quickly, you can swap them around instead of building a whole new one, as it is way cheaper to convert. Lastly, we have province buildings. These are built on a province level instead of on a state level. Here we have supply hubs, railways, naval bases, land forts, and coastal forts. Supply hubs are buildings that give supply to the nearby area. These need to be connected to the capital either through a railway or a port to a work. The railways is what connects your supply hub to your capital. As stated, every supply hubs needs to be connected to the capital to a work. You can up them all the way to a level 5, and that basically decides what level, how much supply each supply hub can give your army. So it's important that it's all level 5 all the way from the capital to where you want it if you want the full level 5 bonus to a certain supply hub. So if you go to supply hub here, you're going to have to build it all the way back to the capital, something like this. Naval bases are used for your fleets to operate from, and also give supply to your infantry. You can also bring troops to and from different overseas areas. Lastly, we got the 2 forts, where we have land forts and coastal forts. The forts give an attack penalty to the attacker of 15% for each level of fort, up to a maximum of level 10 fort, a minus 150 penalty for attack. Where land forts work against land battles, and coastal forts work against naval invasions. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe for more content like this.